All right. Hello, everyone. As you can see today, there is a significant part missing of our podcast, and that would be Max. But I am here with a very special guest today, and I'm very, very excited to talk to her because I think she has a very unique journey to where she is right now, and I think she also has some incredible things to share with us in terms of AI. So, I will kind of reveal like bit by bit. So she immigrated from Russia in 2015, and she has been an entrepreneur since the age of 17, which like blows my mind. She is the CEO of Ritz Momentum, so you probably already are starting to get an idea who she is. A company that she actually founded in 2019, and she basically provides all kinds of business services for Amazon sellers. It's basically a one-stop shop. And most recently, I have seen some incredibly useful workshops in the AI space from her. And if you haven't guessed yet, that will be Isabella Ritz. I am so happy to welcome her. Hi, Isabella.
Hey, thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much for being here. So, I want to actually first talk a little bit about your journey because I think it's very unique. You've basically started very early with your entrepreneurial journey. You've left your motherland. So, like, tell us more about basically how you got to where you are at the moment.
I did start my entrepreneurial journey early indeed, and it was not even 17. It was much early. It was the age of 5 and 6. And recently, Chad Rubin released the post, and he said, uh, "When was your first spark for the entrepreneurship?" And I'm like, "Listen, when was mine?" And I remembered how at the age of the 6 years old, I was picking up different bottles outside. I don't know, different countries has it too, and then you can put it, you can bring it together and give it to the place. They're like exchanging for pennies, but generally speaking, that was my job. I'm like, I want to have my pocket money, and this is what I'm gonna do. So I had a friend, I had neighbor, and I was calling him like like you remember we didn't have mobile phones, cell phones. We've been just really using this like very ancient phones, and we've been
These
calling each other.
bricks, they
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Our kids don't know that. Like that's the that generation. So, and I was calling him, listen, like let's go for a walk and let's make some pennies. Let's make some monies. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we've been going out for a couple hours, picking up the bottles, giving this exchanging these bottles for monies, and that was our like first pocket money. And I was always chasing some different opportunities how I can make something extra because I have this Cinderella story, absolutely real one, not written anywhere, where like my parents, especially my mom, didn't have money, like literally at all. So
Mhm.
I was opening my fridge and it was empty. You know how sometimes you just come into the fridge several times a day, like it was something appearing there, but nothing is happening. The fridge is still empty, and I was jealous of my sister. That she's not sister, she's cousin, yeah, because like in Russia we have this. Definition like sister is like if she's twice removed, that's a sister. So here's it's a cousin.
Mhm.
So she's my cousin. And she was calling me and she's like, what do you have for dinner tonight? I'm like, nothing. And she's like, oh, we have chicken, grilled chicken. And I was so jealous that they had grilled chicken and we didn't. Anyway, anyhow, when I turned 11, uh and I was thinking like all my friends at school, they do have cool pencil cases from China. They are wearing cool backpacks to school, and I want this shit too. Like why they have it and I don't? So I'm like, what kind of opportunities I can get right now that I can make some money for myself? And everything is skill based, right? So like what you can do that you can utilize and sell. So at the time I had a very great French. So I didn't speak English much. Like we learned two languages, and had fluent French. Right now I cannot
Wow.
say the word. If somebody will be talking to me, I can recognize these words. I can understand like, oh, I've been learning this in the past, But because I didn't have any practice for 24 years as of today, then I don't speak French anymore. However, back in the days, my French was very good, and I was the number one student at school with pronunciation, and I was like really good. I could do the synchronized translation, which I did. And I offered elementary school to help the students to speak French better and to lift their grades. And parents, wealthy parents especially, were able to pay me. So I was charging, like, if we will translate to dollars, converted to dollars, it was approximately $4 to $5 an hour. So now imagine, so I was born in 83 plus 12, so it's 1995. I was charging about $4 or $5 an hour. It's a lot of money. So, and I had like 3-4 hours a week working with these children. So I was making a lot of money as a child. I was able to buy for myself things, and like I was feeling great. And then I just continued do some stuff. Later on, started working for different companies, and I was delivering things like envelopes from place to place. I was getting paid for that. And eventually, when I was 17, I just opened my business learning business center. So we've been doing corporate trainings for the companies, and since then I just never stopped doing any type of the businesses, because primarily it's a freedom. So this is how I got into the entrepreneurship.
Wow, what a story, from bottle recycling to like being a French teacher and then being a very successful Amazon agency owner. That's incredible. Well done. It's a
Thank you.
very inspirational story.
Thank you.
So actually, you know what? I want to kind of dive into a little more kind of the e-commerce and specifically the AI angle, given that we are the AI for e-commerce podcast. So firstly, I would love to understand a little bit more about how you have been basically using AI in sort of your agency and for your clients, and then we'll delve even deeper.
Okay, sounds great. So yeah, go ahead.
How are you using AI, and what tools are you using at the moment for your clients?
Yesterday I was we're working on a new project right now, just like a family based, another business for like that will be family based. And I was workshopping this project with ChatGPT. And the way how we're workshopping right now with ChatGPT, it's not like what ideas do you have? You're really priming, you're creating prompts, you're creating scenarios. And I was able to come up with the business model within about like 30 to 40 minutes, including the website, the color scheme, and everything. And I came to my husband, I'm like, listen, if you will take right now from me ChatGPT, I don't understand what to do. So if to compare Isabella Reed's 2023 to Isabella Reed's 2024, I feel that AI literally flew into our life as a hurricane, and in a good way destroyed all previous habits. And it gave us so many opportunities where like some people, they are really underestimating ChatGPT. I remember when I was doing one of the webinars and somebody said, okay, what are you using? And one of the speakers said, we're not going to mention ChatGPT as a bullshit. I was like, no, it's not. And I'm about to prove you opposite. So ChatGPT provides you so many opportunities where for some people it's like Ascamina. It's like you hear about ChatGPT on a daily basis and you don't really understand how you can utilize it. But you can find products using ChatGPT if you are approaching it in the right way. So keep in mind, ChatGPT can create you code. ChatGPT can analyze the data. ChatGPT can read the data the way that you want it to. So, for example, if we want to find a product in the categories of baby toys 1 to 3 years old that cost $39 on the market, have under 100 reviews, making us 15,000 in revenue per month, and been launched not earlier than 2023. We can
Mhm.
do that in literally 5 minutes by going to Smart Scout, downloading the data set of the products based on the criteria I just explained, or like you can put your other criteria. You're downloading data set, uploading this data set into ChatGPT, and asking ChatGPT to find you products, like 3 products at the time with your criterias. And if, for example, ChatGPT provides you something with like electronics or plastic that is hard to develop, you're priming ChatGPT like, listen, can you please be based on the products that are not plastic, that are not heavy, and are not, I don't know, not battery based, right? Because it's hard to redevelop these products, or like, unless you want to invest into the molds a lot and like yada, yada, yada. And ChatGPT will answer you, I don't have this information in my data set. And in this case, you're like, yes, he actually doesn't have this information, but you can prime ChatGPT by saying, okay, great, you don't have this information, but you can do the estimate because, yeah, you have a common knowledge and common sense about which products are being based on like battery based or plastic based or something else. And please
Mhm.
don't offer me these products. And then you're priming ChatGPT the way how you want it to, and like, and you literally can find product to start the validation in 10-15 minutes. So that's number
Mhm.
one, how we're like approaching the product research these days. I'm not saying that's the only way how we are doing product research. We're still using some manual job for sometimes where we're going through we're still going through the software like Smart Scout, and we're looking at the popping topics, and that can be our like entry, or we're looking into Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer. And when it comes to the product validation, we're going through several softwares. We have different, like we have a list of features that not features, the list of uh, points that we have to validate when
Mhm.
we're going through the product selection. And we're uploading data sets from the different software, and we're asking GPT to summarize and answer our questions. So if in the past we were going through the data and we've been analyzing data ourselves, which has been taking more time, then right now we made it more efficient. We're literally taking this data if the product is more complicated, and we're asking GPT to interpret this data the way we want it to. So like, listen, if this, like, look at this product, my goal is to validate this product, if it's feasible, not feasible to launch this product on Amazon in 2025, given the amount of search volume, given the amount of new sellers, given the amount of returns, blah blah blah, do you think it is doable to redevelop this product, make it better based on the consumer's demand and consumer's experience and requirements, and beat the competition? And then
Mhm.
you're already going from there, having the data, and you're asking GPT to be specific in the answers, where GPT will not tell you like, oh, based on the data I see, it is doable or not doable. He will actually explain you like, based on this number, we can make a informed decision that this product is not feasible to launch on Amazon. However, if you will do XYZ, then you can genuinely speaking launch this product and be successful. So that's like uh, outline of usage of AI in the product research part and validation.
I I have to tell you, this is super fascinating because actually, now that I think about our podcast, we've not really ever had a product research specific episode. And I think this is super, super interesting. And I would love to sort of delve even deeper, if you don't mind. So I am really
Oh,
curious. So, like when it comes to, for example, you said that you have different data sources that you kind of plug in into ChatGPT, which is awesome because I think, as with any large language model, is all about context, and the more context you give to the chatbot, the better the output. So what kind of data do you feed into from Smart Scout, and what are some of the other tools that you use to sort of feed more data, and what are the, like, sort of, I guess, the data inputs?
so the simple one, the simplest one will be Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer. Amazon is
Mhm.
not exporting data in CVC format or Excel format, but you can always do the screenshot. And
Mhm.
ChatGPT is able, as you know, like you know that ChatGPT is reading pictures, but not everybody, not every single listener is actually
Yeah.
tracking, and not every single listener is remembers that you can download any picture you want into the GPT, and GPT will read and interpret it for you. So if you
Wow.
have, for example, this big article in the magazine that you just received in your mail, and you need a summary because you don't have time to read, and you're walking a dog at the same time that is pulling you, so you can't read because you're distracted, you can really take a picture on your phone inside of ChatGPT and ask to read it out loud or interpret it or summarize it or whatever, like answer your questions about this article. It's super easy and simple. It will take you like
Yeah.
10 seconds. So we are taking screenshots from Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer. There are a lot of them there. So you can go through the search terms, you can go through the insights, you can go to the um, uh, customer feedback. I still don't know how Amazon make a decision based on like this category and this type of the products. Will provide you guys full feedback on the insights about the product with positive and negative topics, and for some products Amazon
Mhm.
doesn't do that, so it's still probably in Amazon beta version. But when Amazon will provide you this data, you can literally screenshot it and upload it to ChatGPT. Another one, also one of the simplest one, you can go to Sholux, which is also Voc AI. Like they have two names. People recognizes them differently.
Yeah.
VOC, yeah, voice of customer dot AI. Yeah. They're
Mhm.
great. They're absolutely amazing. You're scraping data of the customers, oh, I'm sorry, of the competitors there. And then they do have export in you can export everything in Excel files, and then you're
Mhm.
uploading those files into ChatGPT, and you're asking GPT to give you the summary of the customer feedback, and you can create customer avatar. Just here's the one very important moment: when you do that, you have to feed GPT by saying you
Mhm.
have a data set of the product, I don't know, insulated wine tumbler. I
Mhm.
need you to summarize me customer feedback, customer experience, positive, negative. I need you to create the customer avatar, the primary customer avatar. ChatGPT
Mhm.
likes to call every single customer avatar Sarah Miller, and he will tell you, here is Sarah Miller. Her age is X, at 35 to whatever, like it depends on the avatar. And he will tell you what are her habits. Is she
Mhm.
religious? What are her political views? Where she's working? Is she's full time mom? Blah blah blah. So he will literally create you the very descriptive avatar of the customer. So you will be
Mhm.
able to communicate your product that you'll be developing properly. So on the step number 2, you are asking what are the primary pain points and how can you improve the product or
Mhm.
products that are already being sold. If you want to make it more specific, you're taking the screenshots of the pictures that you are analyzing at the moment. So when you started scraping the information about your competitors with Voc AI, you can screenshot, or like you can do one screenshot when Voc AI analyzed all of them. So it will be like the one
Mhm.
all of them, but it will not be so granular. So ideally, if you will just go through like listing by listing, it will take you additional 2 minutes, and you will screenshot every single product, and then you upload all this I don't know, 7, 10 products, whatever amount you're analyzing, into GPT, and you'll say, okay, you just analyze those like 10 products based on customer experience, customer insights, and the visual that you have. What can be improved and be better
Mhm.
when
Mhm.
we develop this product? And now GPT will give you this amount of features that you can redevelop, and then you ask GPT to create you a visual of that. Sometimes you can polish it, not sometimes, always you can polish it. You can say like, okay, I don't want to be based on this feature or this feature or that feature, so it's always like people based, custom based. and then you're asking to create a visual. You can recreate the visual, and now GPT also improved, especially with the new model. You can ask
Mhm.
GPT to make it the same version, to make it better, to make it more photorealistic, and then more photorealistic, and then more photorealistic, till GPT will tell you, I can't do better than I already did. So usually it's about 10 to 15 iterations, and GPT can provide you such a great version of the product. It was not there a month ago, but it's really came out for the past probably 2 weeks. So now
You
you
know
can.
what? I think like I like DALI 3, but I think I almost would take all of this sort of insight that you have collected from sort of the data analysis with ChatGPT and almost extract a summary version of that to feed into Midjourney, because I just think Midjourney is kind of like superior in terms of really getting a prototype, very realistic looking product. Because I don't know if you've noticed that, but DALI 3 always kind of gets them a little bit cartoony, no matter how realistic
Not
it's trying to
always.
do.
Not always.
Mm.
If you will prime it better, it will. With Midjourney, I do love Midjourney and I do that. However, Midjourney has the limitation of symbols, so you
Mm.
cannot give Midjourney
Yeah.
like this large description, but you can make it shorter. You can ask ChatGPT, can you make the description shorter and shorter and
Mhm.
shorter, but still be descriptive and wide enough for the audio, for the AI, and upload it there. But there is another one that you can do. Some people don't know about Abacus AI.
Mhm.
You know about Abacus, right?
Mhm.
So Abacus
Yes.
has it's also LLMs, and they have access to ChatGPT, Llama, um, Gemini, and Claude. I think
Mhm.
that's it, and something else. They have one more, and you can literally use for $10 instead of paying for every single one $20-$30 subscription. I have ChatGPT. Oh my gosh, it's Teams, so I pay more than everybody. But I also use Abacus AI. And in Abacus AI, there is like great opportunity, so you can literally ask every single model there to design this product. And also on another tab, I have Copilot, and I also have Midjourney. So generally speaking, when we're developing products, we're trying to check out different versions. So that's
Mhm.
where AI comes very handy.
Okay, so like just to, I guess, to summarize, because it is a complex flow, and I'm learning
It's a
so much.
lot.
So you are basically starting with kind of understanding very well the customer persona for who you're building the product for.
Yeah.
Um, and then you're obviously building a customer persona. You are feeding all the customer reviews from VOC.ai, and kind of like building this very comprehensive idea of the benefits, I guess the pros and cons of like the existing products, and sort of getting like an idea about how these can be improved based on that customer persona. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. And then, so tell me, like, how do you then sort of like reach the next step? Because you said that you are getting some other tools to like sort of give you more ideas about uh, tools that are like products that are trending or not trending. Like, which are the data points that you use for that?
So if we already validated the product and we started product development, then generally speaking, the validation part is over. And now we are working with product development, and here where humans are coming into life. So we're still use, of course, like we can use the prototype of the product of AI, and then we are testing this product against competitors on with Product Opinion or with Peakful. Sometimes we actually recently we started doing both. And when you're testing this product with Product Opinion and with Peakful, my vision was always like, okay, uh, if this is user testing based on the traits which are similar, right? Uh, you pretty much should have the same results. 8 out of 10, you do have same results or very similar, like 2-3% will be the fluctuation,
Mhm.
which is normal. But when you're creating complex products, you will be able to see completely different results. Like seriously, Pickful will show you option A, and Product Pinion will show you product option B. And now you're like, what should I do here? Because how you can guarantee yourself and your client that this product is gonna work if two different user testing software are showing you completely different results? And we're literally recently been testing like pricing structure with both of those, and we've been testing color scheme for both of the products, and the color scheme and like how packed is the product with the different features. And we had completely, like literally completely opposite results. So what we're
That's
doing
so
at this,
helpful.
yeah, you're like, it is mind blowing now. Like, what should I do? I'm like a monkey. Should I go to the site with the pretty one or with the smart one? Right? And you're just like going crazy. So, and in this case, we came up with the solution. So what we do, we're uploading again to the ChatGPT the behavior. Like, listen, we have the data from the consumers, which is already in the chat where you've been analyzing and validating the product.
Mhm.
Now, I was using two software to validate the product choices based on the user testing, and that's like two softwares I was using, right? And those are results I got, and I was pulling it from same target audience, which is you're listing the target audience. And now you're
Mhm.
saying based on the data of the product you have, because you already fed this chat with all possible and impossible data, which this chat GPT has at this very moment. And then you're asking chat GPT to simulate the choices of the target avatar chat GPT has based on their resources. And you also can upload responses from Product Pinion and from Pickful, and
Mhm.
you're uploading their responses, and you're trying to create the third simulation of those
Okay.
options. And then you
I
can also ask ChatGPT based on the simulation to create a graph with the answers. And then you
Mhm.
already can have a more informed decision, and then you can run the final poll already. Sometimes you might just rephrase the question and get a better responses and better results there.
That's really smart. And so you kind of almost have like a sort of the final kind of reconfirmation from ChatGPT that indeed like one or the other are you sort of like almost refeeding the data again. So and I guess the customer persona to like really validate that indeed there is no I guess how can I say bias.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
And
And
another,
mhm.
sorry for interrupting. There is another tip here. Sometimes ChatGPT can lose the file that you uploaded on a chat. So
Mhm.
if you don't want to lose it and you want to continue work with the same data that ChatGPT already created for you, you're creating custom GPT before you will close this chat. So the moment you like
Mhm.
close the tab or you left on your computer, literally fell asleep, you can lose all these communications based on the data, because ChatGPT will tell you, I don't have any data anymore. And instead of you uploading and generally speaking restarting it, you are asking ChatGPT to summarize everything he just said, and you are telling him like, listen, I am about to recreate the version of our chat because I'm developing this product. Create for me the custom prompt so I will be able to continue feeding you with the same information, and we will be able to develop the product and test it and like blah blah blah. And then ChatGPT will create for you the prompt for the product, this product you're developing right
Mhm.
now, and you can call it like chat gpt or like gpt wine tumbler, insulated wine tumbler you're developing in the moment. And now when you're opening your chat GPT and you want to do more, you're just clicking on your custom GPT and you're continuing everything there because you uploaded all data sets that you've been working with inside of this GPT there.
Very smart. And actually, I'm very curious to understand. So, have you seen that this whole process that you just described in terms of new product development, are there categories that this is kind of like always working, or it works really, really well, and maybe some other categories where it's a little bit more kind of hit and miss?
So you are limited with uploading data sets from the specific categories because Amazon has subcategories, right? And for example, party supplies, somebody recently asked me about that. They are under category, I believe, home improvement, but there is no way you can pull the data of the party supplies as the specific category. So you have to pull all the data of the home improvement. I think they're in home improvement, whatever, one of these primary categories. So you cannot pull subcategory.
Mhm.
In this case, you will have to, generally speaking, work with GPT to prime him better. And none of the software, none of the tools have this such a big deviation of the data where you can literally like to subcategorize to the small categories, subcategories where it's just like 1,000 or 2,000 products. So you're limited there, but answering what works better, it really depends because you can be honest hunt for products like at $20 and you're already selling, I don't know, in like outdoor categories or garden, and I can be on the hunt of like $500 per product, so or vice versa. And it works different for different people. And when it comes to utilizing AI in product research and development, you have to understand what are you doing, because you can't say GPT like find the product and they're like, oh, he found the product, let
That
me
would be
start.
nice.
Yeah, so the human brain's supposed to be behind. It's generally speaking the vehicle that you're
Mhm.
riding. So the vehicle is amazing. The vehicle has a wheel and the doors and the engine and all the upgrades and the technology. But if you are a bad driver and you cannot navigate the vehicle to the right from A to B, then sorry, you're getting lost. It's just a vehicle.
I mean, this is actually really interesting because you've obviously had years of experience developing new products, and you've seen many succeed and many flop. And so I guess my question is like how, like, okay, you are developing a sort of this new product using an AI process, but how much of your sort of gut feeling, or let's call it experience over the years, um, is involved in kind of saying, okay, this is going to work, or there we go, now it's ready? Because, I think for a lot of sellers, when they are, let's say, starting, or when they are exploring a completely new category, there's always a question of, okay, well, this makes sense from the data, but is it going to work? And you probably have kind of a one up because you've done so many different products. So like, at which point does this kind of switch on, and how does it switch on?
It's a phenomenal question. And to your point, yesterday I saw somebody, one of the speakers on Instagram was doing this, like, I would not say it's a motivational speech, but something. And he said, if you will show me entrepreneur that has a perfect business plan, I will never believe you, because none of the successful entrepreneurs have a successfully written business plan.
Yeah.
But those people that are creating successful business plan, and they will always show you the growth, no flops, no like falling, nothing. Those people are complete failures because they've been taught how to create a successful business plan and without any potential risks. So to your point, I do have this gut feeling, uh, just because we launched so many products. And when I look at the product, I already understand what is the third and fourth order effects for this specific product if person will be launching this product. So that's why for me personally, when I look at the product, I'm like, this product is not going to work because XYZ, we're not even going to validate it. And I don't want to explain why, because I just know already this, like the whole story of the product. Experience, it's just nothing you can do with experience. That's why people are charging a lot of money. It was a story, I think it was a Citibank logo when I'm very bad with the names. The guy developed the logo for the Citibank, and he charged some like huge amount. Let's say I'm speculating $250,000, and he was sitting at the table in a cafe with the CEO or founder of the Citibank, and he literally created this logo on the table, and he said, "Here you go, $250,000, something like this." And the person said, $250,000 just for you for 5 minutes you creating this in front of me? He said, yeah, 5 minutes for creating and 25 years for my experience.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why, like, you're utilizing or your years of experience or someone else's experience. It's always a trade. So it's always trade of money and time. We will always face it. Experience, fortunately or unfortunately, very helpful. That's why I'm not replaceable in my agency. And when somebody is asking me, like, what is the exit plan for agency? I'm like, I don't know, because I am not really replaceable. This gut feeling, I can't transition to somebody else.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. This is the thing that I've always thought about. A lot of really smart decisions are obviously based on data, but there is a lot of gut feeling that comes into that, and that comes from experience and previous sort of, I guess, data sources. So I am really curious because obviously when you now have this process, I guess can you give us kind of like an idea about, would you say that now this AI driven new product development process produces better, more successful products? Or would you say that it's just kind of like creating a level playing field where, it creates the same output, but you basically are just doing it in a smarter, faster way?
So now, again, another great question. So number one, let's keep in mind Amazon right now is based on Rufus and Cosmos. So Amazon implemented AI algorithm, and we can keep talking that it's A9. It is A9/AI based algorithm. So some people were saying we switched to A10 and whatever, A11. It's still A9, but now it's A9 AI or whatever we can call. We have to just commit that Amazon has AI algorithm in the system right now, and nothing we cannot do about it. So when we're developing the products these days, we cannot develop them without the AI because we have to be on the consumer's behavior. And again, like during the podcast, I can't share everything just because of the lack of time, but I'm very open to share all our secrets we're using in the agency because there is no secrets. It's like stuff that we're implementing. So when you're shopping on Amazon, Amazon has AI assistant. This AI assistant calls Rufus. Rufus is the guy that will kill your listing and your sale or will help you to sell. It's your sales guy. So which means when you're developing the product, you have to be based on the questions Rufus is priming to ask your shopper, which means your product has to satisfy customer requests with their questions. If there is a question, does this product, I don't know, child safety child proof, or like safety proof for the child, or not, is your product supposed to have a feature of be very safe for, like, for example, home using or whatever, when people have a baby, right? And you have to analyze all these questions across the border, across the categories of your competitors, and implement the primary ones, the primary features into your listing and into your product. So when somebody will be shopping for the product on your listing, and Amazon will and Rufus will help person to purchase it, you will have to have the answer, the positive answer, so that you will be able to convert the sale. So to answer your question, if AI is very helpful in product research and development, and we cannot do the opposite unless you're willing to do the manual work from listing to listing to listing to listing and summarize and analyze everything yourself. AI is very helpful. So that's it. That's why we also create the customer avatar, because when you're creating customer avatar for your specific product, you are, generally speaking, being in line and I would say Cosmo compliant, because Cosmo, that is working on the back end of Amazon, Cosmo is showing your product to your target audiences. So mom of 5 children and person that is single person that is doing hikings and shopping for the same insulated wine glass, they will get different options, because for the mother of 5, she will get the option with the probably holder and the cross bag, and person with a camper, they will have it with a carabiner that they can clip to their backpack. So we, like, these two people will get different responses, different search results from Amazon. So we have to be based on AI. So we have to implement it. And I genuinely believe that in like these days, it's so much easier to launch products on Amazon because all data is available. AI is available. So as long as you're willing to learn how it works, it is so much easier, because now you don't have to guess, will I be able to sell it or I will not be able to sell it? Now you have data, now you have AI, now you can simulate customer behavior. You really can do anything. We couldn't do it in 2015. So it's like it's like back in the future, you know. So
Yeah. I'm actually going to continue this conversation with a little bit of a tricky question, because we talk about Rufus, and obviously within kind of the Rufus environment, Rufus only suggests a few listings based off based of your conversation and what it knows about you. Now, this is kind of more futuristic, but in the future, as more and more customers are actually starting a conversation or their search journey through Rufus, how do you see this impacting completely brand new product launches? Because obviously a lot about Rufus and what it selects is going to be based off, I guess, of course, everything contextual within the listing, but also the usual kind of like sales velocity and other metrics. So how do you envisage that? And do you think that this kind of like AI driven search approach would make it more difficult to launch new products that essentially rank higher or are visible for Rufus?
I actually think it's easier just because you can see the failures of your competitors. So if your competitor is failing answering certain questions with Rufus, if your competitor is failing with their reviews and they're not delivering certain, I don't know, quality requirements, so like foldable or foldable or something like this, that's how you can literally beat this competitor, because you're developing product better, and because you can foresee the questions that will be asked and prime to your audience, to your shoppers, and then you're already ahead. So if your competitor already cannot do anything, because this is how their product work, and they are not paying attention to their listing, so they cannot tweak anything, then you have this opportunity. So for example, if recently I was shopping for the baby bicycle, like this tricycle for little ones, and it was a question if in one of the listings where Rufus was priming, does this product has the pedals? And this product doesn't by default, because it's a bounce, but not a bounce. It's a balance bike. The balance bike, that one. So and that one had the option to be like to become a tricycle and the bicycle, and it's a bounce one. And on another listing, the bike did have the pedals. But now Rufus is priming me to ask if this product has pedals, even if I don't need them. But now I got a response that this product doesn't have the pedals, and now I don't want this product. But what you can do with this product now, because it doesn't have pedals, but Rufus is priming me to ask this question. And when I looked at it, I'm like, poor poor seller. Like, Rufus is priming shoppers to have a question that the question I didn't have in my brain, right? So the problem awareness is happening before the purchase, and even without me having this feature in mind. So now I'm like, okay, let me see if there are others that are selling with the pedals at the same price. And I found one. So
Mhm.
thanks, Rufus. So Rufus literally turned me away from the seller.
Yeah, wow. Well, powerful and scary, very scary, because I think the entire rule book of how a lot of sellers used to optimize their listings and kind of to an extent the easygoingness of what's in your listing will completely go away. Like
Yep.
you can't just afford to set it and forget it kind of mode.
Yeah, your PPC can be perfect. Your listing can be amazing, but if Rufus is working against you, nothing you can do about it, because Rufus is based on the data and knowledge of the products across the category. And like, okay, if this tricycle balance bike has this feature, let me offer the shopper to ask this question. And
Yeah.
now, like, we had the podcast the other day with Ritu, and she also brought a great point. She said, how many other products do you think exist on the same listing? And I never thought that it's over 250. Over 250 different products are on your listing as a seller. I never even put it in my
Wow.
mind. Like, damn, that's really a lot. And if you will go through the product page, you will find out that there are so many of them. So you have to have such a strong positioning of your product, which you have opportunity to do and to build when you are trying to be ahead of the game. So if you're just putting a little bit more effort than usual.
So everyone who's listening, optimize for Rufus. It's very important.
Yes.
So I think we have time for one last question, which is I guess it's more kind of like, what do you see coming up in the coming years for Amazon sellers, especially with AI becoming more and more integral part of Amazon? How do you see the future?
I genuinely believe that those people that will choose to be ignorant, they will keep selling just based on their success in the past, and which will lead them to eventually to be over, right? If they will not do anything else, like, let me write the same machine that was 20 years ago, and eventually it will die, unless they will start implementing new like features, redesigning their listings, like be compliant. How I would say compliant. Compliant is not correct word, but in line with Cosmo and Rufus, so they will work with that. And for the new sellers that will be launching, unless they will do a very good due diligence, their the rate of failures will be so much higher, but the rate of failures for those that are developing and validating the products the right way will be so much higher. So it will be the opposite. So if in a, let's say, a year, 2 years ago, we still had these people that were launching products and they've been for some reason successful, then this era is kind of pretty much over. So now you have opportunity to develop and to validate the product and launch it successfully, but if you will decide and choose not to take this opportunity and this data and this knowledge, you will fail. So right now you're like, you go to the right, you die, you go to the left, you survive. So it's just a choice.
Yeah. Sink or swim. Sink or swim
Yeah.
in the AI age. Cool. So, if our listeners and viewers would like to get in touch with you, how can they do so?
Ritzarm, ritzarm.com, our website, Instagram, Ritz Momentum. Um, And yeah, you can email us amazon@readsarm. That's also our email, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Isabel Reeds, with the Z, double L, and Reeds like if you want famous cracker, or Reeds Carlton, whatever you prefer.
Awesome. So we'll put all of these links in our description and basically wherever we have posted. But I just wanted to say thank you so much. This has been such an interesting session and super useful, and quite a unique topic that I think everyone will benefit. So thank you so much for basically being our guest and delivering so much value.
Thank you so much for having me. And Max, we missed you.
Yeah, we missed you, Max. So watch us again next week. We're going to have an awesome podcast guest. We're going to have Chad Rubin. We're going to talk all about pricing. Subscribe, listen to us, listen to the previous episodes. And yeah, cool. Have a good week.
I love Chad. Chad is always dropping so many nuggets. Chad is amazing. And that's it. Definitely, you can't miss that.
Absolutely. Cool. All right.